All right, so here's the deal. You're thinking about putting your home on the market and you've heard these horror stories about inspectors and blowing it up, and you're confused. And you're confused with what you need to do to make sure you pass inspection. And then what if it's a VA loan? I've heard their inspectors are horrible. What if it's an FHA loan? I've heard their inspectors are horrible. There's two different things. You got a home inspector and then you have an appraiser. So I'm going to go through both of them and I'm going to give you a quick little brief summary. Home inspector goes through the entire house. He's checking plugs, light switches, anything, attics, the whole 9 yards. Your FHA and VA inspector are checking your cosmetics, meaning making sure that, there's no rotten trim. You get like around doorways and stuff like that, or edges of garage, where you've got trim on the outside of your house. So making sure none of that stuff's rotten because that produces water intrusion, devalues property. They'll make sure the hot water is up to code and up off the ground versus sitting on the ground so the property can't get flooded, those type things. So really the FHA and VA appraisers aren't that hard to get by, basically if you keep a good house. Your regular inspector, basically what inspectors do is they flag everything. So if you have a water spot on your ceiling, a good example would be if your HVAC, your heating and air upstairs in the attic, the pan got full and it overflowed and it created a water spot. Well, the first thing you do is obviously fix the pan, stop the water. But say you're like me, you got 2 kids, you got a family, you've been running crazy, and the water stopped and you'll get to the water spot. You live there, it's not that important to you. It's upstairs, it's probably one of the kids' bedrooms. You can't tell it from the other spots and things that they've left, so whatever. Well, inspectors see that and they flag it. So, and then they'll when they flag it on their report, then what you're going to see on the other end is we need you to have the HVAC checked out, check the water leak, make sure there's no moisture damage, and 8 million things just simply because you didn't paint over the water spot that happened, 3 years ago. So what I want to tell you about inspections, barring if you got found, if they see cracks in concrete or anything like that, they're going to flag anything they see. But 90% of the stuff is not an actual problem. It's just them covering the client that they're inspecting and saying, hey, this could be a problem. So if it could be a problem and it's something that you're not covering up an issue. Obviously, if it's an issue, address the issue. But if it's something old that has been fixed, go ahead and cosmetically fix the remnants of it. If you're like me and you're in your garage and you don't have quite enough light to work, and so you ran an extension cord from one end to the other, which I'm sure is a massive fire hazard. So if you're a fireman, don't send me nasty letters. But things like that you want to remove that aren't. You don't have to bring your house up to code if you have an older house. But if you've rigged something up and got some crazy things like that, whether especially electrical or water spots, or drainage issues or anything like that that's visible, that's easily fixed, go ahead and fix it. Because if they flag it, then they're going to be like, I want you to check the whole gauntlet of what this could be. And buyers, they're seeing this report going, oh my gosh, what's wrong with my house? When you've lived there and oh my gosh, that's just that, it's no problem. Well, when it comes back to them on an inspection report saying, oh, that's just that, it's no problem, usually will not suffice. They want a professional to look at it, and you understand where it can go from there, regardless of what it is. So if you've had things that were broke in the past, fix them. If you got old water stains, paint them. If you got drainage issues where you just need to move a little dirt, move it. If you've got something wired up for an old fridge or something in your garage, or an extra hanging light that's not installed correctly with electrical wiring and run to a breaker and those type things, well, take all that stuff out. So take all the abnormal stuff out, handle the cosmetics, whether it's rotten trim or just small stuff like that, and that's going to go such a long way. If you know of a big problem, obviously fix it, because a big problem, if you fix it, you get to pick who fixes it, manage the work, all those type things. If you get to that in the home inspection, you may not be the one managing it, but you'll be the one paying the bill. And that can turn the wrong way too, especially if you've got friends in certain businesses or things like that. So if it's issues, address them up front. If it's cosmetic, even if from an old problem, fix it. That way you're not going to get flagged on the inspection for something that happened 20 years ago that you got to get 3 people to look at again, even though it's wrong. So that's a good start as far as home inspections. It can go deeper than that, and I'll be glad to answer any of those questions. So you're welcome to call me. Click on the link below. I think I've got some, like my Real Satisfied link where it gives reviews. It's also got my cell phone number on there. So you're welcome to call me, reach out, anything if you want to go even further. and I'll be glad to answer those questions. But that's one of the things that you need to address before you put your house on the market. Stay tuned because I'm going to give you a lot more, but that'll get you started. Have a blessed day. I am Gene Darden. Hey, listen, subscribe. I'll send you some cool stuff. I'm not going to spam you. I'm right here local in Birmingham, Alabama. If you call us, you get me. So anything you need, reach out. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.